What up though, Black KC Crypto, and this is your cash coin currency repo where we're trying to get more cash, more coin, more currency. What kind of currency? Any way we can get it these days. It's looking ugly in the streets, all markets, all sectors. So I'm gonna do what I can to try to see what I can do to help you get a little more cash coin and currency. Right now I'm looking at the SPY. This is the overall market for the stock market. Now this is SPY stock market. This is the average of the top 500 companies. I'm assuming that's what that means. I've been marking this up for a while. So you see we've came out of this uptrend and broken. So the green is the uptrend and the blue is the downtrend. And this midline, this yellow, that's what I have as my kind of indicator to decide, is it going to reverse to go to an uptrend or a downtrend. When it's above that yellow line, you can see that I'm looking at it to move upwards, and when it's below, I'm looking at a downtrend. So you see we've been marking it, and it's been hitting these bubbles pretty accurately. Sometimes we've kind of front run the prediction, but for the most part, we're right on track. Now we see that we hit this bubble and we're above this yellow line, and I see that we've come to the top of this red circle. Now, if you notice, we've also come right to this blue line. Now, this blue line is the moving average. Now, usually that moving average works as kind of like a magnet. Your price is always going towards the magnet. When you're above it, it's probably coming back towards it, and when you're below it, you're probably coming back towards it. So here we were really far from the moving average. So this was a really good buy, and we came back to the moving average here. Now below it, once you hit it, it's resistance. It's going to push that price back down. So I think we're going to come back down through both of these. I think once you test this yellow line a couple times, it's likely to break. So we're likely to break through this yellow line and down to this resistance and make our way to this big red circle down here to 327. So I think a long-term play, this is a monthly chart or a daily chart, but on a monthly time frame, I think by September we should be flirting with somewhere around 340 for the overall SPY. And when I look at the airline sector, this is American Airlines, and they generally follow the same pattern with their own price action. But this is American Airlines, and you can see it was really far away from this moving average. So I put in a buy here, and that's a great movement here. And now we're hitting this movement average again. Now we're above a major line of support. There was a lot of price action here. So if price can get above this moving average, I expect it to come here into this blue area, but green area, I'm sorry, but this is an overall downtrend, so I do expect more downward action. It's got a lot of resistance on the way up. People have been buying this at higher prices, so they're looking for exit points. So until price can get above here, I just do see continual downward motion. So look out for American Airlines, AAL, for the ticker. Now this is oil. We've been looking at oil for a while. If you go out to a monthly chart, now oil has been looking good. Actually, a weekly chart. Now this is a good trade if you were in before the Ukraine madness. And I hope I don't get a flag on my page for mentioning Ukraine, but as you can see, this week has been a really red week to start out the month. And this is how I mark this chart. If we could have got above this midline into this green circle, then I was predicting this green box. But here, once we, and it's kind of the same time frame, this is a decision to make. Is we're going up or down. And you can see that's kind of the midline between this triangle here, but we're down towards this red circle. I expect us to see more downside. We're under this purple line. This is a major resistance, so I think if we do see some relief, maybe a relief bounce here, it's just more work to the downside to stabilize the price around the end of November. I think we start seeing some upside again. So that's oil. And I want to go to Coca-Cola, another stock I've been looking at. It hit really recent highs of 67, and it had a correction here, but it broke out of a major resistance. This is the highest that this stock has ever been. This is the all-time high. So it's going into what I call in the crypto world price discovery. So once you get to, and I'm going to mark a horizontal line on the all-time high here. Boom. And so, and you want to find a line with the most points. You know, that's kind of a legit line. So once price makes it to 65, we may see some correction here and maybe argue here for a bit. But, and let's move out just a bit so you can see what I'm looking at here. This major uptrend is not going to stop. Again, when you look at the sector of Coca-Cola, the prices of groceries are only going up. You know, it's not going to have a major correction there. Wrong line. So I do expect this to continue upwards on this general trend. Now it could correct down at this resistance, and I keep moving this line back towards um, the 60 level, back just below 60. I think that's a psychological level. Once the price reaches below 60, and you can see we've marked this red circle up to say that price would have a correction back down this way. But I think that's kind of a psychological level where the buyers are looking to get that sweet spot, you know. So I want to draw another little level here to where once you see price dip into this box, you do want to start buying and accumulating some stocks of Coca-Cola because, you know, once the buyers and the big money fill their bags up, I see price discovery. Once it passes this blue line, it's just smooth selling, and I can see 85 as a high, maybe topping out somewhere 85, 86. So Coca-Cola is a good look, and I am Black Casey Crypto, so I do want to look at the crypto market and tell you what's going on there. This is Bitcoin. It's struggling with this $20,000 level. This blue line, this moving average, is something that you want to look at. That's an average price. When you're above it, it's support that keeps the price moving up. But once you're below it, it kind of keeps pushing the price down until it kind of stabilizes on a vertical line or horizontal plane. This is still a lot of downward motion, so I think price still wants to come down. It's stabilizing here, but this is a formation that I like to call the bear in a cave. So what this is this is a baseline price to where people are defending this price level, and they're saying 20,000, you know, as a general, you know, a psychological level. They're saying we're not going to let this price drop below 20,000. I'm a $20,000 buyer, but people get tired of buying that price when they can see they can get it probably cheaper. So, and I want to draw some support, some resistance here. Resistance means the price doesn't want to go past that. That's all of the buyers saying that's too expensive for me to pay. So you can see that resistance building up, and until they can break that resistance, price is going to keep moving down. So I feel like once we finish the end of this, and I feel like any day now, you're going to see a major move down. And it's generally the same distance as this triangle that's been building up. So I want to measure that from here when it first started from this big drop. And at the point of breakout, it's probably going to have a similar move. So I expect Bitcoin to now the caveat is it could have a breakout and break out of this triangle and come up, but again, even if it was to do that, and that's kind of a fake out move that the big bags use. They call it a relief rally to kind of give the seller some relief. So price could come up to reach this higher resistance, but generally or eventually come back to lower levels. You know, so that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin. Maybe a relief rally up to levels of 25, maybe 26, but then back into this box and do this same old story and same old dance again. And finally, let's look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has been flirting with this $1,000 level, and again, you can see the same pattern building up. Now, they move similar. The liquidity in Ethereum is tied to Bitcoin. You can trade them almost equal, not equal value, but most of the Ethereum people they traded Bitcoin for it. So their prices and the liquidity and what they trade for are sort of linked. So you can see the prices moving in similar fashion. And you can see that same bear in the cave formation in again on top of the moving average, but this is overhead resistance, and the price has been falling so rapidly that, you know, there's another line of resistance building up overhead. So even if it breaks out of this triangle, there's just more resistance here to where the sellers just get fed up with buying and they wait for lower prices. So 26,000 on Bitcoin, maybe 14 or 15,000 on Ethereum are the tops I'm looking at before a correction. We see lower levels. So that's what I have. Thank you for listening again. BLAKC Crypto. Check out my YouTube. Also, BLAKCINC.com. It's a great site for, you know, a variety of things, whatever you need. If it's athletic, health, and fitness, if you want to do some gardening and you're into agriculture, education, homeschool resources, we got it all over here. BLAKCINC.com. Thanks for watching again, and until next time.